Hi there, welcome to my living room. I'm going to answer Cthulhu's Asks. He asked 3 questions. So number 1, do you speak any other languages? If so, which ones? No, I used to be conversant in French. I took French from grade 8 through 12, and by the time I was at the end of grade 12, when the tour guide was switching between French and English in Ottawa, I didn't really notice, and it really surprised me. So my comprehension was pretty good, but my ability to speak fast enough was just not quite there. So I could have a conversation with someone who was patient, and that was okay when I was in France a little while later. And since then, about the only thing I've done is use it for, drawing vocabulary when I need it. I can occasionally make sense of, I know when French movies are sort of poorly subtitled, but beyond that, I don't consider myself a francophone at all. The other thing I did do was took this fabulous course in first year university of Latin and Greek contributions to the English language, and it taught me roots of words, and my God, it just took my vocabulary to another place, basically. Very, very useful, and over again. It's probably the best money I ever spent as part of my degree. Question number 2, what's the most recent book you're reading, have read, and would you recommend it to others, and why? I read a lot of books. I work in a library. I'm usually reading 6 to 8 books at a time. I'm on Goodreads. Right now I'm currently trying to cram through Paper Towns before the movie comes out next week. Would I recommend it? Well, I'm a little over 2/3 of the way through. I'm not sure. It's not grabbed me as much as Fault in Our Stars, which is the only other John Green that I've read, but I'm still enjoying it. I'm kind of the opinion that even a lousy John Green book is probably better than a lot of books out there, so I'm good with that. Book that I most recently finished that I would recommend is actually one that I got as an advanced reader when I was at ALA, and it's called Lizard Radio, by Pat Schmatz. And the nifty thing about this is basically the central character is gender fluid in a time when gender is policed, like in this dystopic world where it's like rigidly you have to choose, and you can't be in this weird other place according to this world. And so it really challenges your idea of that and ideas of gender. It's young adult fiction, very well paced, very well imagined world, very fully realized world. It comes out in September, and I do definitely recommend this one. And whenever I'm asked to recommend books, I always pull up my favorite, Salman Rushdie, Haroun and the Sea of Stories. It's full of puns, but it's beautiful. It's all about the richness of the oral tradition of storytelling and where stories come from, and sort of the seeds of fairy tales and fables and all of these other tales that are part of our cultural histories. And at the same time, itself is an adventure and a fairy tale and so many other things. When I first encountered it, I encountered it as an audiobook read by Rushdie himself. That is long out of print, but I still have my cassettes somewhere. And you cannot get it on any other format. And like, I love it to death. This is one of the only books that I have that is like seriously well read. I bought it brand new, and I've read it multiple times, and everyone should read this book. So, what are you really good at doing? Examples if possible. Let's see. When I was in grade school, I had to play Fozzie Bear in a play, and so I thought I would have to learn to wiggle my ears, and so I did. And so I can, I don't know if you can see, I can actually wiggle my ears. But then they put a hood on me with ears on, so it was all a moot point. I can roll my tongue, and I can do other goofy faces and stuff. I was in drama for a long time, so I can do all sorts of strange emotive things with my face, goofy things. I'm good at talking in front of a crowd. I'm good at teaching, training, that sort of thing. I do a certain amount of presentations and speaking, and it is one of my skills. And then the other thing that I'm good at, is ignoring my telephone, is sewing. And I'll leave it at that.